A glimpse into her early life and career. Shelley Fabares was born on January 19, 1944, in sunny Santa Monica, California, into a world already steeped in the glitz and glamour of early Hollywood. With a natural charisma and wholesome beauty, she seemed destined for the screen. At just 10 years old, she began her career as a child actress, quickly rising through the ranks with guest roles in popular television programs of the 1950s. But her big break came in 1958 when she was cast as Mary Stone on The Donna Reed Show. She played the daughter of the ideal American family, winning the hearts of audiences with her charm, wit, and subtle emotional depth. Shelley's success on the show launched her into teen idol status. Beyond acting, she explored music, something few actresses dared to do at the time. Her single, Johnny Angel, shot to #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart in 1962, turning her into a crossover star. Hollywood couldn't get enough of her. She went on to appear in films alongside cultural icons like Elvis Presley, cementing her place in pop culture history. But while the spotlight shone brightly, the personal sacrifices it demanded would become evident in the years to come. The turning point. A devastating fall. By the mid-1990s, Shelley had largely transitioned into more mature roles, including her Emmy-nominated work on the hit series Coach, where she played Christine Armstrong. It was during this era, while enjoying a quiet break from filming, that a routine renovation at her home turned into a nightmare. As she inspected a remodeling project, Shelley fell through a weakened floor joist. The fall wasn't just painful, it was catastrophic. She fractured multiple ribs and sustained internal bruising that doctors initially underestimated. The incident set off a chain of medical events that would reveal far more serious underlying issues. The physical pain was immense, but what came next would challenge every fiber of her resilience. What should have been a slow but steady recovery from broken bones became something much darker and far more invasive. A creeping realization that her health was slipping away, and the fall had merely been the trigger, not the cause. A battle. With autoimmune hepatitis, as Shelley underwent further evaluation following the accident, doctors noticed something abnormal in her blood work. Her liver function was deteriorating rapidly, far beyond what would be expected from someone her age and lifestyle. After several rounds of testing, she was diagnosed with autoimmune hepatitis, a rare and unpredictable disease where the body's own immune system mistakenly attacks the liver. For Shelley, the diagnosis was both confusing and terrifying. Autoimmune. Hepatitis is silent until it becomes severe, and in her case, the damage had already been extensive. She was placed on a strict regimen of immunosuppressants and closely monitored over several months. But despite aggressive treatment, her condition worsened. Eventually, her medical team concluded that a liver transplant was the only option left to save her life. In October 2000, Shelley underwent a high-risk liver transplant. The surgery was a success, but it came at a great cost. Recovery was slow, riddled with complications, fatigue, and moments of deep emotional despair. Once the picture of vitality, she now faced a future defined not by her career or accolades, but by daily pills, checkups, and the looming possibility of organ rejection. The role of Mike Farrell, a pillar of support. Throughout her ordeal, Shelley was never truly alone. By her side was her husband, actor and activist Mike Farrell, best known for his role as BJ Honeycutt on MASH. The couple had married in 1984 after years of friendship and mutual respect, and their relationship would become the bedrock of her survival in the face of crushing illness. Mike became her full-time caregiver. While most of Hollywood's golden couples are built on mutual appearances and red carpet glamour, theirs was forged in hospital corridors and whispered midnight conversations about pain and prognosis. He administered her medication, helped her out of bed, advocated for her with medical professionals, and reminded her constantly that she was more than her diagnosis. Their love story evolved under the weight of Shelley's illness. It wasn't just romantic, it was raw and real, a testament to endurance, loyalty, and commitment. Shelley has spoken in interviews of how Mike's steadfastness carried her through some of the darkest nights of her life. "He never made me feel weak," she once said. "Even when I couldn't stand, he saw my strength." Life after the spotlight. In the years following her transplant, Shelley made the decision to retreat from the public eye. Though she occasionally made appearances at industry events, her acting career took a backseat to her health. The demands of Hollywood, once thrilling, now seemed incompatible with her fragile state and her new, quieter values. She spent more time at home, tending to her garden, reading, and reconnecting with old friends. Her life slowed to a gentler rhythm. Days once filled with rehearsals and red carpets were now dedicated to recovery, reflection, and preserving what health remained. While fans missed seeing her vibrant presence on screen, those close to her knew this chapter of stillness was not one of defeat, but of survival. Still, the damage done to her body left its mark. She continued to battle complications from immunosuppressants, including fatigue, bone weakness, and susceptibility to infections. What had once been a brief detour from acting became a permanent change in direction. Though she kept her spirits high publicly, those who saw her up close knew she bore her struggles with quiet dignity and private exhaustion, a legacy of resilience. What makes Shelley Fabares' story so heartbreaking isn't just the physical suffering she's endured, it's how gracefully she carried it all, even as the world forgot the luminous star she once was. While many actors fade quietly into retirement, Shelley's absence came with the sting of personal tragedy. Yet, rather than sinking into bitterness, she transformed her struggle into a quiet legacy of courage. Her story has become a powerful testament to endurance. She has inspired transplant recipients, caregivers, and women facing chronic illness. She has supported organ donation campaigns and written personal messages to those in the early stages of diagnosis. Even out of the spotlight, she has found ways to contribute, to connect, and to remind others that they're not alone. Though rarely seen today, those who remember Shelley from her heyday on the Donna Reed Show or Coach know that the spark that made her special has not vanished. It has simply transformed from youthful exuberance to profound grace under fire. Conclusion: a heartbreaking but hopeful reflection. Shelley Fabares' life story is one of both inspiration and sorrow. From teenage stardom to musical success, from silver screen elegance to terrifying medical trauma, her journey has encompassed the full spectrum of the human experience. Her fall from the public eye wasn't due to scandal or fading fame. It was the consequence of a body that betrayed her, even as her spirit refused to give in. Today, Shelley lives quietly, far from the dazzle of the industry she helped shape. Her once bright eyes still hold stories untold. Her smile still carries the warmth that once charmed millions. But behind that smile lies pain, sacrifice, and a daily fight to hold on, to health, to memory, and to the simple joy of being alive. It is heartbreaking to see a star so full of life brought low by illness, yet there is also beauty in her endurance. In a world obsessed with youth and perfection, Shelley Fabares reminds us that real strength lies in vulnerability, and that the greatest heroes don't always wear capes. Sometimes they wear hospital gowns, and sometimes they simply keep going.